Hello everyone, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I'm Kishore and today I'm here to solve a killer Sudoku created by Tenaliraman. The Sudoku has been taken from Logic Masters Germany portal and it has been rated 96% on the portal. So I thought it would be nice to cover a video on this Sudoku and given that my previous video went more than 1 hour, I wanted to cover something light and standard on the channel. So killer Sudoku is as standard as a variant can get. So hopefully you enjoy this video. The link to solve is given in the description. Please do give it a try and come back and watch the video. Um, the rules are classic rules apply. Each row, each column and 3 by 3 box will have digits 1 to 9, no repetitions. And killer rules apply. You can see that there are some dotted cages given inside the grid. In each of these cages, if a clue is given on the top left corner, then the sum of those digits will be equal to the clue. And if there is no clue, then there is no information about the total in the cage. And one more important thing is that digits cannot repeat inside cages. So for example, if you have a 6 here, none of these cells can be a 6, right? If you have a 6 here, then this means that you've broken the Sudoku. So these are the rules, really interesting one. And let's see how it goes. This is a live solve. Hopefully this is enjoyable. So I'll start the Sudoku now. Okay, the first thing that catches my eye is this 12 cage. When you have a 12 cage formed out of 4 digits, 1 and 2 will most certainly be part of the cage, without which the total would be more than 12. So 1 and 2 will definitely be part of the cage. And an 8 cell cage, 8 total cage with 3 cells will always have 1 inside it. Okay, 22 from 3 cells must have a 9 as part of it, and the same goes for this 22 cage as well. And a 5 has only 2 possibilities, either 1 plus 4 or 2 plus 3. And 14 cage again has 2 possibilities, 5 plus 9 or 6 plus 8, no other possibility. So look at this box, we have 3 cages inside box 9 and they encompass 7 cells in total, leaving out 2 cells, right? So what are the total of these cages? 12 plus 13 is 25 plus 10 is 35. And we know that in any 9 by 9 Sudoku, the sum of a row or a column or any 3 by 3 box will always be equal to 45, which is the sum of the digits from 1 to 9. So 45 is the sum of this box, and if I subtract the cages from that, which is equal to 35, I know that this sum now is 10. And that is not really helpful because 10 has 4 possibilities. So let's look for something else. Maybe this 39 cage. Oh yes. So what is the total of these 5 cells? I know that this total is 12. So I most certainly know what is this total, which is 45 minus 12. So I know that this adds up to 33, right? So these two cells, in order to make up to 39, must add up to 6. So which means they are 1 plus 5 or 2 plus 4. Digits do not repeat, so you can't have, let's say, 3 and 3 here. So it's 1, 5 or 2 and 4. Only possibilities. Okay, I have a 9 staring down at this row, and 9 cannot be in a 12 cage. That would break the total. So 9 goes in one of these two cells. Okay, look at this cage. I haven't looked at this properly yet. The reason is because there is no clue given. However, something you can deduce is that as there are 9 cells inside this cage and digits do not repeat, so we must have the digits from all the digits from 1 to 9 inside this cage exactly once. And you can see that nines are thrown all over the place. 9 cannot be in here, 9 cannot be in these three cells, 9 cannot be in these two cells. So in this case there must be one 9 exactly, and that has to be in these two cells. And one more thing that you can deduce is that these four cells, let me highlight that in yellow, must be same as the digits in these four cells, and that should be easy to prove, right? uh, all these this cage contains digits 1 to 9 exactly once, and these four cells cannot be in any of these five cells, right? They are in the same box, so which means that these four digits must be present in these four cells, right? uh, that helping me? Not really. So I'll just erase that. It's just a simple observation, not helpful much. So a 12 has only two possibilities, a 1, 2, 3 and 6, or 1, 2, 4 and 5, right? So which means that 7, 8 and 9 must go inside this 5 cells. Okay, that's not super useful. So let me highlight this cell with a different color. So where does the red cell go inside this box? It's a different way of looking at what I explained just some time previously. So if this red cell is in here, where does it go in box 5? So it has to be in one of these two cells, right? It cannot repeat inside cage, it cannot go here. And now that forces that by the rules of classic Sudoku in these three cells. So which means that I know that this cell must be a little higher to satisfy the 12 total. For example, it cannot be 4 or anything less than 4, as that would break the 22 total. So this would have to be 5 and above, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course, 9 is ruled out. So it can only be 5, 6, 7 or 8. Okay, and I'll just remove the colors now. Okay, what am I missing here? I haven't visited this 38 cage at all. Can we do something with this 38 cage? So there are 7 cells inside the 38 cage, and which means that, and those 7 cells add up to 38. So which means I need to remove 2 digits which add up to a 7, right? Because the sum total of 9 digits is always 45, and there are 7 distinct digits which add up to 38. So which means I need to remove 2 digits which add up to 7. Uh, okay, I don't think it's easy to deduce that. Let us look at it in a different way. We know for sure that 7, 8 and 9 must be inside this 38 cage. Because if you remove any of 7, 8 or 9, then you can never get to a 38 total with 7 digits. Okay, now 9 cannot be in this cell, 9 cannot be in this box, so that gives a 9 here. Super. So that's the break-in we are looking for. So now we know the possibility of this 14 cage. So that has to be a 6, 8. So does that give me something? Okay, 9 is in one of these two cells, 9 is in one of these two cells. We have two pointing pairs of 9, so 9 goes in one of these three cells. And this 9 removes the 9 from here, so 9 goes in here. Interesting. So how do I continue now? That is the biggest question. So 8 has two options, and that can be 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. These are the only two possibilities to get to an 8 total. So can I make use of these 9s any further, because none of the cages seem interesting to me now. Okay, where does the 8 go inside this 38 cage? It cannot be in these two cells, it cannot be in these two cells. So it can only be in these three cells. That's not a useful deduction. Mm, what am I missing here? What is the crucial deduction that needs to be seen here? So this box, revisiting this box again, 23 plus 12 is 35. So I need 10 from these cells. Don't think that is helping me. If I can somehow place the 8 in any of these cells, that would be super useful to me. Uh, what happens if this cell is an 8? So 8 in this cage would be forced into this cell because there is no other cell that can take an 8 now. So that forces 8 inside this 9 cage, a 22 cage, which means this becomes 5, 8, 9. What am I missing here? So if the 8 goes in here, this becomes 6, 7, 9. 22 cage has only two options, 985 or 976. So this would become 6, 7, 9. But again, not much, not much at all. Okay, let's look at this central cell. It can never be in a 38 cage, right? Because this cell is looking at all the cells of the 38 cage. So this can never be in the 38 cage. So which means that this can only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It cannot be 7, 8 or a 9, because we already know 7, 8 and 9 is going inside the 38 cage. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, at this point it's slightly sticky. There's some classy deduction, I think. What am I missing? Oh, this cannot be 1, 2, 3 and 6. I got it. I got it. So we earlier saw that 12 can only be 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. So what happens if this is 1, 2, 3 and 6? Right? So that forces 4 and 5 inside these cells. And now there is no way to get to 6 from these two cells. We know that these two cells add up to 6 because these 5 cells add up to 33. So if I have 4, 5 here, the 6 total is violated. So which means that, oops, this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Which means that this can only be 1, 2, 4 and 5. I missed that. So that means this has to be okay, 9 was already here. This would be 3, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay. Now if this is 1, 3, 4, 3 would be here in one of these two cells, and if this is 1, 2, 5, okay, there is no problem in that. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, you have a 9 here. This can't be 9. 3, 6, 7, 8. This is 9, 8, 5 or 9, 7, 6. 9, 7, 6. 976 is ruled out, guys. 976 is ruled out because when you remove 6 and 7 as a possibility from these cells, there are 3 cells in total which have only 2 digits as possibilities, 3 and 8. That's not possible. So this becomes 5, 8, 9. There's no doubt in that. So 8 is removed here. That becomes 3, 6, 7. And now this becomes an 8, 9 pair. And now I hope the Sudoku becomes super smooth. So this is not 8. That's a 5, 6 or a 7. So 5, 8, 9, 3, 6 and 7. So now I know this must be a 1, 2, 4 triplet for the row. And that gives my digit here. All 1, 2, 4 are removed. So that becomes a 5, which gives me a 1 here. That removes the 1 from this cell. 5 from this cell. So 1 goes in one of these cells. And 5 goes in one of these cells. Okay, now look at this 12 gauge. The moment I wrote this 5 as a possibility, you can see that there is something going on here. You don't have a 9 here, you don't have a 6 and 8 here, you also don't have a 5 in here, which means that a 7 must certainly be inside the 12 gauge. If not, the maximum total that you can get is 2, 3, 4 because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would be eliminated, and with this you cannot get to a 12 total. So 7 goes inside the box. And now the possibilities are 147 or 237. So but 7 is in here, that is certain. Okay, you got an 8 here. Now where does the 8 go inside this kind of box shaped cage? The 8 would have to be in these 5 cells, right? There is no other possibility where the 8 can go, and this 8 removes the 8 from this cell. And now look where the 8 goes in the 38 cage. 8 can't be here because of this, and 8 cannot be here because of these possibilities, so 8 is forced in here, and now I get the possibility of the 22 cage. Awesome, guys. No wonder this Sudoku is rated high, 96%. So much fun to solve, really beautiful. So this becomes 6, 7, 9. So now I can't have a 5 in here, because if this is 5, we know that that cell gets forced here as we saw earlier. So 5 goes in here and there is no 5 in here, and there won't be any space for the 5 in box 6. So 5 is not an option here, so that's only 6 or 7. So what am I supposed to see here? Okay, this is superb. This is really superb. You just need to understand how these digits interact with reference to the middle box. So can I have a 1 here? Let's say I have a 1 here. So these two cells become 2, 4. Now where do the 2, 4 go inside this middle box? Obviously whatever comes here, let's say in these orange cells, cannot be in any of these 5 cells because they are in the same cage. and that puts both these digits inside this area. And now where do these two digits go in column 4? They must be forced in here. So if I have 1 in here, I get 2 4 here, and that 2 4 gets forced inside this cage, and we already know that there is a 7 in here. 2 plus 4 plus 7 is equal to 13. That is not good enough, so I'll remove the 1 as a possibility here. 1 is not going here. Can I have a 2 here? So that becomes 1 4, and now 1 4 in this column is forced inside this cage, and 1 4 7 is good enough to go. But just for our satisfaction, let's see what happens if we have a 4 in here. This becomes 1 2, and 1 2 in column 4 gets forced in here, and we can't reach the 12 total. 1 2 7 is equal to 10. So this would have to be a 2. That's nice, a really cute deduction. So that becomes a 1 and 4. So 1 4 is forced in here, and 1 4 goes in here. So this becomes a 1 4 7 possibility. And now again coming back to this 38 cage, where does the 7 go inside this 38 cage? Only these 3 cells can take the 7. And now where does the 7 go inside this big cage? Only these 2 cells can take the 7. Okay, 11 cage can be deciphered now. It cannot be 2 9, it cannot be 3 8, it cannot be 5 6. Only option left to us is 4 7. And now this can be placed, so that's a 2. That becomes 4 is also eliminated, so that's 1. So this becomes a 4 5 pair. Now let's just try to fill this box. Look at this cell, it cannot be 4 7 5 8 9, so this would have to be 3 6, and that gives a corner of 1 and 2 in here. So if I look at this column, I have 1 4 7, I have 2 5, and 6 and 9 looking at this cell. So this cell can only be 3 or 8, no other option. Okay, again a nice trick. Okay, not really. I was actually thinking that 6 is also forced into this cage, but 6 need not go inside this cage, right? You can eliminate the 1 and the 6 and still get to 38 total. So, okay. So this cell must be 2 3 5, and this must be 2 3 5 for box 8. So what am I missing here? Can I unravel this? The 5 possibility doesn't look like it. Okay, 8 is going in one of these 2 cells, right? So 8 is removed from here. So 8 has 3 options in this cage. Okay, not sure what I'm missing here. Okay, let me just remove these colors. They are a little bit bothersome. Hmm. Not so easy at this point. I think this is the most crucial step in the Sudoku, if I'm not very much mistaken. It was slightly hard at this stage. Okay, I have 7 in row 1, 7 in row 3, 7 coming down from column 4, so 7 goes in here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 and 9. So these two cells must be 3, 6, 8. And look at this cell for the row, can't be 4, 5, 7, 1 and 2, 6 and 8. So this must be 3 and a 9. I still think that we have to do some interplay between these cages to get something, but I'm not certain what is to be done. Uh, so I was close to getting a deduction. I actually thought that 6 cannot go inside this 38 cage, but there is this one little cell which can take a 6. That would force a 6 here and a 6 here, and Sudoku just goes on without any contradiction. This 5 cage, hmm, okay, I'm going to write some pencil marks. 2, 5, 1, 4, 7. So these two cells must be 3, 6, 8 and 9. So it is clear to me that in this cage, the big cage, the 9 cell cage, I need to have 2 and 5 in 2 of these 3 cells, right? The cells marked in yellow must have 2 and 5 in them, in 2 of those cells. So which means none of these cells can be a 2 or a 5, because even if one of this cell is a 2 or a 5, all those options, all 3 cells will be eliminated of 2 and 5. So these cells cannot be 2, 5. Again, just as we are on the cusp of getting a digit, it just vanishes off. Nothing from that deduction really. Okay, same idea. This cannot be 2 and 5, right? Because if this is a 2 or a 5, then doesn't matter if this is 2 or 5. Let's say you have a 2 here, then 2 is eliminated from all these cells, and this 9 cell cage would have repeating digits. And similarly the same story for 5, right? So which means in this column you can put one of 2 and 5 here, and the other of 2 and 5 would have to go inside the 38 cage. Awesome. So now we know that the 8 cage cannot be 1, 3, 4, because that forces a 2, 5 pair in here, and that would violate the 9 cell cage. So this is a 1, 2, 5. Brilliant deduction, guys. Awesome. Really beautiful. So okay, 1, 2, 5, 8 and 9. So 4 goes in one of these two cells, and 4 cannot be here because it is already present inside the cage. That gives me a 4 here. That has to be a 3, 6 and 7. And now I know where the 2, 5 goes inside this cage. Goes in these two yellow cells. Beautiful. I'm getting a pair. So 1, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. Look at row 4. This would have to be 3 and 8. So 3, 6, 7. This is not 8 now. So So 8 is in these three cells. That's not 8, so that's 3, 6. Okay, this is not 2 and 5, right? You have a 2, 5 pair here. So this is 1, 3, 4 or 6. And where does the 2 go in box 4? It has only two options. 2 goes in one of these two cells. Hmm. So now I know that the 38 gauge needs to exclude either 1 and 6 or 3 and 4. Because of this, the possibility in this cell, if it is 1 is here, 1 does not go inside the cage, taking 6 along with it. And if 3 or 4 is in here, 3 or 4 doesn't go inside this cage, taking 4 or 3 along with it. So 2 and 5 is always inside this 38 cage. Can I place the 2, 5 somewhere? Hmm. Okay, look at this 11 cage. Now it can't be 2 and 9 and 5 and 6. It can only be 3 and 8 or 4 and 7, right? This can only be 3, 8 or 4, 7. This box is completely out of the picture. Like an underdeveloped piece in chess, this box is just doing nothing. Look at all the other boxes. We have got lots of action, but this is, however, completely dead. What can I do in this box? Nothing. There's nothing that can be done in this box for now. Uh, okay, that's good. So this cannot be 3. And how is that? If you have a 2 here, by using classic, you will place the 2 in here. And if you have a 5 in here, again by using classic, you will place the 5 in here. So this can never be a 3. So that's a 2, 5. Okay, now I know that this cage has to have the 2 and 5 as we just saw previously. And where does this cell go in this cage? It cannot be in this cell, and you also have a 2 and 5 here, so they cannot go in these three cells, so they would have to go in here. So this basically becomes a 2, 5, 8 pencil mark. You already have an 8 here, so this can only be 2, 5 or 8. Okay, now this cannot be 2 and 5, because if you have 2 and 5 in here, that means if you have 2 and 5 in here, this already forms a pair which can't go here, and you already have a 2 5 here which can't go here, so both the 2 and 5 would be pushed here, but we know already that 8 is in one of these cells, which means this is not a 2 5, so that's a 3. That's not 3, that's 1 4 6. This is not 3, that's 6 and 8. So 3 6 8 1 4 7. So this is a 2 5 9, and I have a 2 5 9 triplet in the column. So this cell can be 1 2 4 5, 3 and 9. This is 6 7 8. 1 2 4 5 3 and 9, 6 7 8, right? So 3 here removes the 3 from this cell, removing the 8 from this cell. So this is getting somewhat action now. It cannot be 3 and 9. So this is 4 plus 8 or 5 plus 7. So you can see here that I have got a quadruple in this box, 2, 5, 8 and 9. Right? I have a quadruple in the box. So these three cells can only be 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7. This is beautiful, guys. This is very beautiful. You can't have a 3 in this area. Suppose, let's say you have a 3 in these two cells. You obviously can't have 3 here. So if you have a 3 in here, where does the 3 go inside this cage? You need to have a 3 inside this cage. So if you have a 3 in here, this cage does not have place for a 3. Right? Let me put that in pink. If you have a 3 in this cell, green cell, there is no place for the 3 in the pink cage. And now, let's say you have a 3 in this cell. Let's say there is a 3 in here. You have a place in the pink cage. You can still put the 3 here, but that is forcing a 3 in the 22 cage. So again, which is not possible. So now we know for certain there is no 3 inside this cage. So which means that the 38 is removing 3 and 4 as options. So which means that we must have 1 and 6 in here, 2, 5, 8 and 9, 1 and 6, and of course a 7 in here. So this becomes 1, 6, 7. Now that's a 4, that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 6 and 7. Okay, so 1, 6, 7, there is no 6 in here. That becomes a 3, 8, 9 triplet. So that's a 6. Superb, guys. Superb. This is fantastic. Really awesome. That gives 8 in here, giving 8 and a 9 here, a 3 here, a 6 here. 6, 8 gives me a 7 here and 9 here. And now this becomes 1, 2, 3 for the row, and 6 removes the 6 from this cell. Okay, so 7, so that's a 6. That becomes a 1, 7. That's not a 6, that's 3, 7. There is 8 here, so there is no 8, 3 and 9. Okay, still the Sudoku has some venom in it. It is not completely subsided. So what am I missing here? Okay, you have a 3, 8, 9 triplet here. So this cannot be 3. That's a 7, that's a 6. And now that 7, 1 pair can be resolved. So now this 5 is not 1, 4. It has to be a 2, 3. That removes the 3 from here. So 2, 3 removes the 2 from here. That becomes 5, 8 pair. That's not a 5 anymore. So that's a 2, 9. That gives a 5 here, 2 here, 5 here. Let me remove these corners. 2, 3, 5, 8, 6, 7, 9. So I know these must be a 1, 4 pair. And that instantly gets resolved. So now in row 5, there is only one cell left for the 2. 2 has to go here. Now this would have to be 3 or 9. Okay, look at row 6, 1, 4, 6, 2, 3, 7. So this must be a 5, 8 and 9. Okay, one go gives a 2, 3 here. One is removed from this cell, so that's 2, 3. Okay, now look at this 10 cage. At last that box 9 is coming into action with deadly effect. The 10 cage has only one option. It cannot be 1 plus 9. It cannot be 2 plus 8 or 3 plus 7. That's a 4, 6. And that means this cannot be 4, 8. This would have to be 5, 7. So now this is 1 and 9 or it's 2 and 8. Only two options left for the 10 total. Okay, 4 6 resolves this 4 7 pair. Removing the 7 from here and the 6 from here, right? That's a 9, so that's a 7, that's a 6. That resolves this 7 5 pair. That resolves this 5 8 pair. And now this can be placed, so that's a 5, that's 8, that's 9. 4 7 8 9 5 and 6, so we need 1 2 3 here. And now there is only one cell left for the 9 in this box. 9 would have to be here, giving me 8 here. That becomes 1 and 3 now to get to 13 total, which means this is 2, this is 2, this is 3, 1, that's 3, that's 2. So 2 9 can be resolved, so that's 9, that's 2. And this can be placed, 2 can be placed in the cage. 2 goes here, so that becomes 1 5. And 6 8 can be resolved because of this 8, so that's 8, that's 6. Now look at this cell, can't be 7 8, has to be a 4, giving us 7. And that resolves this 4 5 pair. Removing the 5 from this cell, giving a 5 here. 7 is here, 7 is removed from this cell. And okay, look at this row. This can't be 4 and 7, has to be 1. And now this becomes 4 7 pair, which can be resolved, 7 4. And 4 6 can be resolved, 4 6. 1 5 can be resolved, that's 5 1. 1 3. 1 2 5 7 3 4 9, so we need 6 and 8 here. That gives a 3 9 pair here. That can be resolved, so that's 9, that's 3, giving 8 here, 8 here, 6 here. This is 9, that's 3, that's 9, that's 8, that's 3, that's 7, that's 3, and that's 6. What a Sudoku, guys. Really, what an amazing creation from Tenaliraman. An amazing killer Sudokus. It's very rare for killer Sudokus to be rated this much high on the portal. And this was a beautiful Sudoku. So much fun to solve. I hope you guys had fun watching me solve this killer. I had tremendous fun. We hope to see you soon with the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.